Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Matt Grippy. I live in La Habra. When I was listening to the last presidential debate, the moderator said something that made my eyes widen. She said, experts are saying we'll be wearing masks and social distancing into 2022. Are we really willing to wear a mask every day for the next year and a half? Do store employees who work in a mask for 8 hours a day have any say in this? Because that's what's being prescribed for us by Anthony Fauci. The goalpost has been moved so many times since the initial 15 days to flatten the curve, it's not unfounded to think that when 2022 arrives, that they could be extended to 2023 or even indefinitely. This is not acceptable. When I look at the people who are opposing this public health tyranny, I see it's mostly women. That's because they're fighting for their kids. I don't have any kids, but what I do have in common with these courageous women is a belief in the intrinsic value of every human being. This intrinsic value and the right to govern our own health is being smothered by these masks. We could talk a lot about the shaky science being used to justify universal mask wearing and nullify it claim by claim with a decade of scientific research demonstrating that masks are ineffective in preventing viral transmission, but at this point, that would be kicking a dead horse. A faceless world is anti-human. Facial expressions are such a fundamental aspect of communications that it's built into our biology to distrust someone who's covering their face. With these mask requirements, to go out into society is to be in a constant state of cognitive dissonance because of the conflict between this primal response to a masked stranger and the universal requirement of masks. The age group at the least risk of illness from COVID-19 are suffering most from the widespread use of face masks. Masks prevent children, and adults for that matter, from reading each other's facial expressions, which is a disaster for young kids still learning nonverbal social cues. Masks are such a barrier to communication that our politicians take them off when addressing the public while expecting you and me to wear them during all of our daily interactions. Do as I say, not do as I do. Some of the most ardent mask supporters have demonstrated exactly how fond they are of masks. Nancy Pelosi at the hair salon, Anthony Fauci and his wife maskless at the baseball game. And worst of all, we saw Joe Biden pull down his mask to cough into his hand during a campaign speech. Seems like Joe really gets the whole mask thing. We cannot allow our governments to regulate our respiration. This is a human rights issue. Mask requirements are a violation of the most fundamental aspect of bodily autonomy, our right to breathe freely. If we give up our right to breathe fresh air and to show our face in public, to show our smile, we'll give up everything else. Masks are dividing us, not only because those of us who've made an informed health decision not to wear one are being demonized, but also because of the tendency to dehumanize someone when we can't see their face. I've watched mask wearing intensify over the last few months, with no reduction in reported cases, mind you. A faceless society, devoid of genuine human interaction, cannot become the new normal. This won't end until we stop complying with medical fascism.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.